All right, just wanted to go over some final details on my 1,000-yard AR-15. And the reason I call this a 1,000-yard is because I know this will reach out to 1,000 yards now. You've seen my video where I've shot 700 yards with 55 grain. I was hitting a 700-yard target very consistently with a 55 grain round. I did shoot this out to 900 yards with a 55 grain round, and I was still hitting, but it wasn't as consistent. At least I couldn't put rounds on a 12 by 18 inch piece of steel every time. If it was a bigger target, yeah, I could hit it, but a 12 by 18 inch, which is kind of the standard I'm going by, just because that's what we have at the long range shooting area over where I shoot at. It's kind of the standard everybody's using, so I'm going to use that also. That was with 55 grain ammunition. If I use some better ammunition, I have no doubts I'll be able to put hits, consistent hits at 1,000 yards with this rifle. So this rifle I kind of refer to as the 1,000-yard AR-15. And a lot of people don't understand. They say, well, wait a minute, a 5.56, 223 AR-15, no way can it do 1,000 yards. Yes, it can. And there are other builds out there on YouTube. In fact, there's some videos of other guys on YouTube. There's one guy, he's got an AR-15 build. I'll have to try and find that video and maybe link it in the description. But he was shooting 1,000 yards with, I believe, 55 grain in his AR-15 build. And he's got a real nice build. His AR-15 is pretty nice. But in any case, this is pretty much 1,000-yard AR-15 project. And the final things I did to it was right here. This is a Hogue grip. I really like the Hogue grips. The rubberized material, the finger grooves really help me get a consistent grip from time to, every time I get on the rifle. And that means a lot. Getting that consistent grip on the pistol grip. You want to do things the same thing every time. So there's a lot of different grips out there that help with maintaining a good consistent grip. There's a lot of different choices out there. I just went ahead and went with this because I'm a fan of Hogue. I've got Hogue on a lot of my other firearms. I really like the stuff. The other final upgrade I did was on the optic itself. You can see there's a bubble level. And some people refer to it as an anti-cant device. Basically all it is a bubble level. And the importance of having an anti-cant device or a bubble level on your rifle, whether it be mounted on your rail, your Picatinny rail, underneath your optic, or on the optic yourself, like you see here, is to keep the rifle level. Number one, if you're sighting in any long-range rifle, even at 100 yards, you want to make sure it's level. If you don't have an anti-cant device like this, bubble level, what have you, there is no way you can guarantee you're sighting your rifle exactly level. You want to make sure your scope is level to your action, and you want to make sure the rifle is level when you sight it in, even at 100 yards. If your rifle cants just a little bit, that's going to throw your shots off. At 100 yards, you won't see anything real noticeable, but when you start going 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000 yards, you're going to see the misses. It's not going to be inches, it's going to equal in feet, depending on how much you got that rifle canted. And you have to remember, sometimes you're shooting on unlevel terrain. So the capability of having this bubble level right here on the optic, and combine that with a bipod that has some type of, you can see right here, capability of swiveling a little bit, you can make sure your rifle is level. That's how you make those really long shots. You got to make sure your rifle is level. The company that I got this anti-cant device was Mounting Solutions Plus. They got a lot of good stuff. Check them out. There's their information right there. Go ahead and Google it. But pretty inexpensive. I like it. There's a lot of different styles of bubble levels. In fact, there's some of them that mount on the rail here and stick out the side a little bit. I just preferred to do this personally. Now the other thing I got was this right here, the Nikon 40mm sunshade, as you can see right here. And this isn't a need. Some people view it as a need, but when shooting long range, if the sun happens to be in a weird position, you want to get that glare off your lens. That's basically what a sunshade is for. And if you have a lot of heat radiating from your rifle right here, it's going to negate that just a little bit. And it's just something that it's not a need, but I decided to get it just so that way I don't have to worry about glare. So that way I can shoot no matter what the sun position is in the sky. If I'm shooting into the sun a little bit, it won't matter, because with the sunshade, it takes care of the glare. What I did is this is the sunshade model right here. It's a 40 millimeter. And these sunshades typically they're made for like the Buckmasters. Buckmasters are awesome optics. Buckmasters, those are the basic Nikon line. There's a lot of other different lineups that this 40 millimeter will fit. You can see this 40 millimeter is slightly smaller than the P223 setup I have here, just because this is a little bit of a thicker casing around it, but it's screwed right in. Screwed right in, no problem. So keep that in mind. If you're running a Buckmaster and not a P223, this will fit. And I did some research on the internet. This will fit the M223 series also. And I'm assuming it'll fit much the same way. So it's not a flush fit, but that's okay. But in any case, just wanted to show some of the final upgrades I did to my 1,000-yard AR-15. Also, I did grab some 20-round PMags for it, just so that way I can keep it lower to the ground. I don't have to worry about 30-rounders. So there it is, boys and girls, the 1,000-yard Rock River AR-15. Fancy little gun. I really like shooting it. It definitely performed well when I took it out earlier on this week and shot it. Even with a little bit of winds, it was rock solid. In fact, I was the odd man out. It was kind of neat. Everybody had these real fancy bolt action competition guns, chambered in 338, 300 Win, all kinds of specialty chamberings. And I think there was a 408 out there. I'm not sure. But they had a lot of different chamberings. Awesome stuff. I was kind of the odd man out, but this AR-15 was just keeping up with them, no problem. So, all right, thanks a lot for watching. And as always, please stay safe, stay armed, stay free.